felt like I came my entire insides out
Jack!
Huh?
Jack!
What?
What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm eating Doritos.
What are you watching, dude?
Nothing.
Is that what I think it is?
No.
Is that Splatoon?
Yeah. They're hot!
You're right, man. So, welcome to Better Days Podcast.
Welcome to Better Days.
Get the Doritos out of here.
Now I gotta lick my fingers. You know what song? Before you say anything, you know what song I've had stuck in my head all fucking day?
What?
Brains by Voltaire. You know the song that plays in the Billy and Mandy episode with the big green monster that falls out of
wait,
the sky?
sing with me. Brains, brains, I won't lie. I'll eat the brains till they're zombified. Sure, they might think it's deranged, but they'll be losing their thoughts of when I'm eating their brains.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't go along with you the whole time because there's a few lyrics I forgot.
Speaking of Cartoon Network and Billy and Mandy, what the fuck happened to cartoons?
You could say that about anything. Because, like, with Cartoon Network, they were really good for a while, like in the 90s, and then the 2000s was kind of like...
It was great. I mean, that's when we grew up because we're little young babies. So we grew up with a great Cartoon Network.
Right. And then it started to get sort of weird. When it was like Chowder and Flapjack and Total Drama Island, I was like, okay, this is cool.
I love Chowder and Flapjack, though. It is probably one of my favorite shows on Cartoon Network.
You don't like Total Drama Island?
I absolutely hated Total Drama Island.
I liked it. I didn't like every single other one. I didn't like Total Drama Action. I didn't like Total Drama World Tour. I don't like all the other, like Revenge of the Return of the Island. And then there's one, it's, they're making this new one, and it's something like where they're all kids now, and it's just like, when does it end?
I always thought it was stupid, but my question is, okay, so did kids actually vote, or was it like, they just predetermined who...
No, nobody actually voted. It was just, like, on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, my friend saying that he voted for the show when I was, like, in grade school.
Well, your friend was full of shit.
Yeah, probably.
See the same guy who said, my dad works at Nintendo and they're making this new thing right after the GameCube. It's going to be called the GameCube X and they're going to have Pokemon Coliseum, too.
Yeah.
That kind of kid.
Yeah. But, like, man, old cartoons were so good. Oh, Cartoon Network and old Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon went to complete, utter trash. It is so bad. Oh my god.
What's your least favorite show that you've ever seen on Nickelodeon?
Fucking everything on there now.
That's not one show.
They're all the same. They're all Dan Schneider bullshit.
Not even!
Yes!
Dan Snyder's the good stuff! Like Victorious and iCarly.
He's making all the shitty shows now.
Oh wait, is he making... Are all the live action shows now still Dan Schneider?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
He made that Henry Danger show.
Is that the one with Jake Paul?
I don't know.
Is Jake Paul... No, Jake Paul was on Disney, that's what it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
But, man, I miss Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron was great. SpongeBob's still going, but SpongeBob's just like...
Everyone knows that the new SpongeBobs are bad.
They're pretty terrible, actually. They're just... Are they still making new ones?
Like, one episode a year.
Really?
It's like... It's pretty much canceled by this point, but they haven't made an episode in like 2 years.
I feel like they rerun SpongeBob like constantly.
Yeah, but never the good ones. The problem with SpongeBob is that they took everyone's traits and amplified it to the point where it's not funny.
Yeah.
Like, SpongeBob, he would get angry, he would get sad, he was normal. But just because he was happy a little bit more than most characters, they made him like, I can't feel sadness anymore. I can't get angry.
He's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And then, like...
Patrick was dumb, but he made some logical sense sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
with his stupidity.
He was slow.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
then in the new ones, he's like... and they, like...
Squidward was just, like, impatient, and he was, like, a little more grown up than SpongeBob and Patrick.
I want you to remember, Squidward got involved in the snowball fight. He was losing his mind because he was trying to figure out what was in the box episode.
Yeah.
But now if any of that happened, he'd be like, great, and just walk inside.
He's just, like, depressed. and he's an asshole. Like, sure, he's kind of a dick. Mr. Krabs is a greedy shit now. Like, he'll do anything for money.
He was always like that, though. I would say Mr. Krabs and Pearl and Mrs. Puff never really changed.
The show just feels dumber.
Yeah.
Everyone just feels dumber. Like, yes, it's the same characters, it's the same place. It just doesn't feel like it.
It's not clever anymore.
No, it's just stupid.
I miss the old Fairly Odd Parents, but did you see what happened now?
Oh,
now,
with that neighbor girl, Chloe?
First they added a baby, and that's when I didn't like it.
Poof?
Then they added a dog.
I didn't watch it when they added the dog.
Then they added to where he had to, like, share his fairies with his neighbor. And, like, they changed the theme song.
Yeah, they changed the theme song, and it's bad.
That's not good.
No, it's quite the opposite. Cartoon Network didn't suffer as badly as Nickelodeon. Like, Cartoon Network had good shows, like I said, there was the good 90s, early 2000s shows.
Oh, wait, hang on.
What?
We're gonna name him. We're gonna name the best. Courage.
Johnny Bravo.
Powerpuff Girls was great.
Dexter's Laboratory.
Dexter's Laboratory. You idiot!
You're stupid!
You are stupid! Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, get this. So the other day, we were watching Pokemon Indigo League on Netflix, and his Pokédex name is Dexter, and we were saying, what if it was just Dexter from Dexter's Lab?
Yeah, but this isn't a forest. It's an open field.
You are stupid. You are stupid.
That means I'm stupid?
And Ash is like, come on, please. He's like, no, you're stupid. Get out of my laboratory.
Stupid bitch. Cow and Chicken. Speaking of stupid bitches, Cow was retarded.
Big brother. Aww.
And then there was,
Cow, you stupid. You know how every Cow and Chicken episode, there'd be like 2 Cow and Chicken episodes, and there'd be an episode of I Am Weasel.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
That was good.
Oh my god, Courage was my favorite, though. I know I already said it. Then there was...
Courage is really good. You know what I think of when I think of Courage?
What?
Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask?
Because the vibe I get from both of them is just, like, eerie. You know how Majora's Mask isn't, like, a lot of people think of it as, like, a really dark game, but the thing is, it's not scary. It's just eerie. It's just weird.
It's just horror-themed.
And that's the same thing with Courage, I feel like, because there's really lighthearted episodes, and nothing is... I mean, sure, people are going to say, oh, as a kid, Courage scared me, but Courage was never, in my opinion at least, outwardly scary. It was just eerie and, like, chilling sometimes.
There was a few parts that made me like, ugh.
Yeah, and then there were episodes like when Muriel became a little girl, and there was the mac and cheese scene, which pissed me off. That was annoying.
You know what killed that show, right?
No, I don't actually.
You know the episode with... There was this episode where this cat lady wears a mask, and it was like...
It was like prostitution, right?
Yeah, it was like where...
Abusive, right?
Yeah, like domestic violence. And, like, he would, like... The dog pretty much owned the girl, and he would, like, beat the shit out of her and stuff. And, like, it was really dark.
Yeah.
And then, like, at the end, the two... Cat and the rabbit got together and they were like lesbians whenever they freed her, and that's like back then that wasn't really like a good thing to show, I guess.
I think it was, well, yeah.
I mean, because I think that was the last episode before it got canceled.
Was it?
I think so.
I have no idea, but I remember that episode because she would say like all dogs are like pigs or something like that. Like,
and that was like racism, right?
No, it was like insinuating like a woman, like, or a prostitute, like all men are pigs and stuff like that. And it was almost like gender roles and like gender stereotypes and stuff like that. And it was like tackling that as well as like prostitution, and because she was like, it was something like that.
But Majora's Mask was such a good game.
You know, I got like a little over halfway through Majora's Mask, but it's just like that game intimidates me because of the time constraint. And it's like I'll be like in one of the dungeons and I'll have like less than a day left. And I'm just like, oh fuck, because if I have less than a day left, then that means I have to stop, and then I'm going to start over, and then I have to go around and do everything to get back into that dungeon again, and then I'll have the same amount of time again, so I'm just fucked.
Yeah, but you already know where to go since you did the dungeon once.
Yeah, you're right. It's a neat concept, and I really want to, like, be into Majora's Mask, but I just haven't got there yet. I feel like I need to have somebody hold my hand while I play that before I can get into it, because there are so many things. It's like, oh, you have to go here and do this, or you have to do that, or you have to set this thing here and wait a few minutes. Like, I would have never guessed. Like, I am so dumb when it comes to figuring those things
That's how all Zelda games are.
I know. And with some of them, it's easier. Like, with Ocarina of Time, I had no problem. I beat that game. That was fine. Link to the Past, if I applied myself, I could beat Link to the Past, but I've never beaten it yet.
That's my favorite Zelda game.
Yeah. And, like, but, like, it's simple enough. But with Majora's Mask, man, like, I just get so confused. I think it's just me.
I absolutely love Majora's Mask. Like, I can play that all the time. I finally actually beat it for the first time like a month ago, and it was great.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't expect fighting Skull Kid like that.
Ben drowned.
Ben drowned.
Ben drowned.
Dude, that's some spooky creepypastas if I ever heard one. I'm getting chills just thinking about it, man. Ben drowned?
Dude, video game fucking video game creepypastas are probably the stupidest ones.
Mario looked at me and he screamed and blood came out of his eyes and then he came out of the TV and he Squidward suicide gave me nightmares.
Yeah, guys. Lavender Town caused my Japanese friend's suicide.
I killed myself and then I wrote this story.
I
killed myself because Sonic told me to.
Sonic says, "That's no good."
Sonic says,
"Okay." Got him. No, but in all seriousness, I just have a hard time believing that music caused kids to commit suicide.
Oh, well, it's not true.
I don't think it is, no.
Creepypastas are never true. They're just stories that you're supposed to tell around a campfire.
But, like, honestly, I don't think somebody's gonna kill themselves over hearing high-pitched music. It's like, because wasn't the whole premise, like, Pokemon Green in Japan, the music was, like, pitched higher, and it was so unbearable that kids killed themselves, or something like that?
It actually, if you do listen to the green version of Pokemon Lavender Town, it is a lot more... It's not gonna fuck with me.
It's just like when you hear, like, a really high-pitched sound, or, like, when your family forgets to turn off the TV, like, a really old CRT television, you just hear, like, the...
Well, like, it's different. It has, like, different parts to the song, and it's a lot more creepy. Like, it's like... and it's scary.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There's some good ones, I will admit it. There are some good ones.
Yeah. I really wish I could find that Camel Code video that you had talked about.
Yeah, when I was in, like, 6th grade, 7th grade? No, it was like 8th grade.
Because we were friends, so
yeah.
it had to be at least
It was like
grade.
8th grade. I saw this Candle Cove video, and Candle Cove, it's not the one. If you look up Candle Cove now, it's just some stupid one with a bunch of puppets.
Yeah,
screaming.
it's like, and it has like an intro, it's like bum bum bum, and it's like ah,
yeah,
and it's like anyways.
Yeah, it's not scary, but it makes me laugh. But like, I saw this one that I can't find anymore, and maybe like it's starting to mess with me. But it was this like black room with like a face smiling. And then it, like, went to static, and then, like, more, like, some, like, legitimately creepy stuff came up, and I can't find it anymore. So it's, like, haunting me to this day.
Yeah. If you look up Candle Cove, that, you can find a gif of, like, the smiling baby face in the background of, like, a dark room. Like, you can find that. That's one of the first things that shows up, I think.
Yeah.
And that, on its own, is scary, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I was in 8th grade and I was a little bitch. I was playing RuneScape, and then I decided to look up some creepypastas.
I was masturbating to Lois Griffin hentai, and then I decided to go on creepypasta. That in sequential order.
Yeah. Dude, why not the other way around?
Well, because then I feel like I watch the Lois Griffin porn to, like, put myself at ease and kind of relax after scaring myself. No, dude, you gotta get going to the hentai first. And then it's like, right as you're about to finish, turn on creepypasta, and it's just like, oh! It feels like Satan's coming out of your wiener.
Yeah, dude.
It's like it's like a reverse exorcism.
So speaking...
Speaking of Lois Griffin porn,
speaking of scary shit...
same thing. Dreams.
Let's talk about some nightmares.
Nightmares.
Some spooky shit that makes you... Here's something. Okay. Have you ever woken up from a nightmare and you're so scared, you're terrified, and you're like, you can't go back to sleep, and you just have that like feeling that you're gonna look over and see something, and you're so terrified because of this dream, and you finally go back to sleep, and you wake up the next morning and you're like, That dream was about a frying pan. Why was I scared? Like, have you ever gotten like really scared
Yeah,
from a
I
dream?
have.
From a dream that's not scary.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember more recently when I was in marching band in high school. Our high school's marching band is pretty intense. So like during band camp week, I'd go home and I'd sleep, and I feel like I'd be half asleep, and I'd like be sitting in my bed straight up because I feel like my band directors were still yelling at me and saying like set, and like I couldn't relax until they said so. I was just sitting in my bed and I was half asleep, and then like it hit me. I'm alone in my bedroom right now. There is nobody here, and then I just went back to sleep.
Really?
Uh-huh.
See, when I was little, I would have night terrors. Apparently,
Part of me wants to think it was some sort of night terror, but I just don't delve into it.
yeah. Like when I was little, I wouldn't remember anything, but my mom would say that I would wake up like yelling, and she said that she would have to wake me up in the middle of the night just so I wouldn't wake up screaming and then let me go back to sleep. But I don't remember doing that. Like it was all
It's
just
kind
one.
of hard to remember it.
Nah, but like I would wake up and I wouldn't know that my mom woke me up. She'd be like, "Oh, I woke you up last night because you were yelling." I was like, "What?"
I apparently had a lot of night terrors as a kid, according to my parents, but I can only ever recall like one or two.
Well, tell us your most vivid nightmare that legitimately scared you to this day.
Nightmare?
Yeah.
Okay. The one that's got me the most shook. Okay, so this was last year. It was about my girlfriend at the time. So I had this dream that a bunch of like she got kidnapped by these people, and I didn't know who they were. But they weren't from the United States. They were from some country or other, because I remember she like flew out on a plane with them, and they like took her to some, I don't know where they took her. Anyways, so I somehow knew where to go find her, so I freaked out. I went to go find her, and it was like the middle of nowhere, and and I couldn't find anything. I'm like losing all hope. I still don't know where the fuck this dream took place, but anyways, so I see this building in the middle of nowhere, like lights, camera, everything. It looks, the outside of it kind of looks like a casino almost. So I go in, I'm like confused, and I like hear someone kind of say, you know, like, and next, this and that person, and like relay a name, and I'm like, what? And I look up, and there's these lights, and it's like a bunch of like really greasy fat guys with like money like around like this runway, like holding up money and screaming. And then there's like lights, and it's like a runway, and there's like women walking down the runway, and they're dressed in like literally just like a bikini, and they all look really sad and scared. And then it hit me. These guys were kidnapping and selling women as like sex slaves, basically. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck. You know what your fucking girlfriend is. Anyways, so I'm just like sitting there like, oh my god, where is my girlfriend? And I think I chilled there for a second. I think I drew on a fake mustache, and they all believed me. So, as if they would have recognized me anyways. So then, I see her. She gets auctioned off, and I like, I think I like swipe some money out of some dude's pocket. I'm just like, oh, yeah. And they sell her to me. And then, like, she's freaking out, and I'm like, it's me. And she's like, oh my god! And I'm like, we're gonna
Wait,
get her.
is your girlfriend stupid enough not to realize that you just had a fake mustache on?
Dude, it's my dream, okay? I don't fucking... it was probably me being stupid enough to not recognize my own self, because it's my dream. So, they're convincing, dude. And then, so we're getting out of there, and then, like, the people are coming after me, and I just remember her crying and telling me, like... So we had escaped these people after... So, like, kind of like Scooby-Doo, where you just hide behind a bunch of places until they lose you. I remember we were about to escape, and then she told me, like, the horrible things that these guys had done to her. So then I went back. I found, like, the leader of it all, and I just straight up shot him in the face. And then that's all I did. Just, like, no hesitation, and just left. I don't know where I got a gun, but I did.
Nice. You got some revenge.
Dude, I woke up, like, sweating. It was just, like, so stressful.
See, I have different dreams. Mine don't make sense, but they're terrifying.
I don't either, but I don't have the brains to go along with myself and be like, oh, this is a dream, because I'm like, oh yeah, there's always been a talking hippo in my life. This makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay, so I'm not always in my dreams. I can tell you one nightmare that I had.
What was it?
So, the whole perspective of the dream was like through a security camera. It was like...
Oh, really?
It was just like a movie in my head. So like I wasn't there. I was like looking through a security camera.
You ever seen the Blair Witch Project?
Yeah.
Is it kind of like that, where it's like all through a camera?
It was like one of those like corner security cameras that's black and white.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It was in a small room.
Yeah.
And it was just an empty operating bed, and that's it. It was just in an operating room. And then it slowly faded out black.
Like in a doctor's office?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in a surgery room.
Yeah.
And it faded out black and came back in. Then there was a guy on the bed, like he was passed out and he was about to have surgery, and the doctor was like getting his tools ready, and he walked over to cut an incision, and then it faded out black again, and it came back in. The guy was cut open, and he was like operating on him.
Yeah.
And he looked kind of like he was kind of like like this looks odd. He didn't say anything. He just looked he had kind of like a what the heck look on his face.
Yeah.
And then it faded out black again. It keeps fading out black. And it came back in again. And now the guy looks like the doctor, he looks kind of worried. He's like sweating a little bit, like he's wiping he's wiping the sweat off his forehead. He's like and he's like doing more work.
Yeah.
But all this time he's in the view of the guy, so you can't really see what he's doing. Then it fades out black again. Then it fades back in, and he's like heavy breathing, and he's like getting different tools and like doing all this stuff, and he's like freaking out. And then it fades back black. Then it fades back in, and the doctor is gone, and the patient who is being operated on is now awake with his chest is open.
No.
And his face is now horribly disfigured and messed up from the surgery because the doctor didn't know what he was doing, and he's just sitting there screaming with his body open, and his like face looks all stitched up and shit, and he's screaming. He's like, ah! And then it fades back in black.
Jesus.
It fades back in black, and there's just a bloody operating table, and that's all it is. And that was the whole dream.
So like the dude everyone just like kind of disappeared?
Yeah.
That is so fucking weird. That is so fucking weird.
That was the nightmare that made the most sense, so it kind of messed with me. Usually
made the most sense.
Usually, okay, but like my nightmares are usually like weird. It's like usually okay. I can tell you my first nightmare I ever had. I was 4 years old.
Still remember it.
I was 4 years old, and I was sleeping at my grandma's house. Like this wasn't in the dream. This was in real life.
Yeah.
I was taking a nap because I was back when I took naps.
Do you don't take naps anymore?
Nah, dude, fuck naps.
They're awesome.
Dude, whenever I take a nap, I feel like I got hit by a train when I wake up.
Alright, anyways.
So I was taking a nap at my grandma's house, and the dream was I was in my old house, and I was walking around, and I couldn't find my parents. And I was like, Mom? Sorry. Mom? Dad? Where are you? And I was getting really scared.
Yeah.
And I looked over, and from behind my fridge, this big ceramic plate with a realistic face slowly looks from behind the... it slowly comes out from behind the refrigerator, and it goes... Boo. And I fucking cried when I woke up.
It was like... I imagine you just waking up and going... Like, Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone, you just wake up, you go... Ah!
No, it was more like... But like, dude, for real, the plate was scary. It had like a Thomas the Fane... Shit.
Thomas the Fane.
Thomas the Train Engine face, like carved, like not carved in, but it was like the plate molded into a Thomas the Train like face, like it was clay. And it like looked at me and it went boo.
That's too good. That's too good.
I remember. I know I keep talking about dreams, but have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Yeah, all the time. It sucks.
Is it just where you can't move? Do you ever see or hear things?
Wait, do you have it?
I've had it before.
Okay. I can't move, but I can hear things. I can't see things because I can't open my eyes.
Really? Whenever I have it, I can open my eyes and that's it.
Okay, I can't. Sometimes I can, but I usually can't. What happens is like I'm sitting there and I'm just like, fuck. At first, I can move my feet. Right. Then it goes, like, up to my legs. And then it goes up, like, it just goes up to my body. And eventually it's just like, ah! And then I jolt up. But yeah, it's really aggravating.
And then you always feel so disoriented afterwards. You're like, oh my god. And you feel scared, too.
I feel scared to fall asleep because I know as soon as I let my... Like, when I wake up from sleep paralysis, I make sure to get up and do something for a second. Because I know... because it's happened before where like I'm in sleep paralysis and then like I doze. I'm like, oh, I'll just go back to sleep, but then I fall right back into it.
Yep.
It's so awful. When I was little, I used to think it was like a dream, so I didn't know if it was real or not.
What do you hear when in sleep paralysis?
I just hear the background noises that are going on. Like, I don't hear anything different. I just like hear the noises that are going around like through wherever I am.
See, I have audio and visual hallucinations. So,
I
like,
have never had those.
So, like, I dream over reality kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like, one time I was dreaming about, I forget, it was about, like, creepy, like, baby dolls or something. And then this was the first time I ever had it. And then I woke up, and I saw I opened my eyes, and I saw all of the dolls standing in my room looking at me. And I tried to scream, but I couldn't. I was like...
Oh, that's the worst.
And then I, like, closed my eyes, and I brought myself up, and I was like... and I was like, Mom! I can tell you right now, the scariest I ever had.
Sleep paralysis?
Yes, of sleep paralysis. Was, I've had this in my dreams forever. I really have.
Yeah.
The first time I ever had it was just the face, but then it eventually, like, had a body and stuff. But I sometimes, it's a reoccurring thing in my dreams where I see this black creature. He's, like, hunched over, long arms, long fingers. He has human legs, but, like, the knees are bent backwards.
Oh, like in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's really skinny, but then his chest gets big. And then he has, like, 3 really large, almost like fingers on the top of his head that go back. And then he's all black except for his face, which is a circle. Mm-hmm. And it's made out of clay, kind of like another Thomas the Train. But, like it looks like it's the same texture as Thomas, but it has no eyes, and it has realistic lips, and it smiles. And it just, like, kind of like... It always laughs at me, and it just stares. It doesn't move. It always just laughs and stares at me. I always see his face in my dreams, and sometimes the body. But one time during sleep paralysis, I saw him walking, like, not moving, but hovering towards me, and it really freaked me out.
When you have a dream... with that, is that the only thing in the dream?
No.
Okay.
It'll be like a whole dream, and then something will, like, happen where his face, like, the first time I ever had him, his face molded into the into the door, like the door texture molded into his shape and laughed at me, like his face. Kind of like, let's say you got, like, a flat piece of plastic and then shoved your face into it so it pokes out. And, like,
oh, yeah.
That's what it was like, but with the door. And it was, like, from the other side of the door, and he laughed at me. He goes...
Spooky.
Yeah.
I remember the scariest sleep paralysis experience I had. I woke up, and I was in my bedroom. I was face down in a pillow. Like, really face down to the point where I could barely breathe, except for, like, kind of like, I don't know if me making stupid-ass sounds did it any justice, but probably not, but basically, my mouth was pressed up against the pillow so I could, and my nose was too, so I could barely breathe, like, just, when I say barely, it's like just fucking barely.
Jesus, dude.
So, and you know, I didn't know when the sleep paralysis was gonna snap, so I literally felt like I was going to die. I thought I was going to suffocate, like, then and there. But then, what seems like the last possible second I could have survived, I snapped out of it.
Jesus, man.
It was terrifying.
That is really scary.
Yeah, it was horrifying.
God.
I just sat there afterwards like, holy shit.
Sleep paralysis is like the worst thing ever.
That's why I always try to sleep face. I never sleep face down. I always sleep face up or on my side.
I've noticed I always get it whenever I sleep on my stomach.
Exactly.
I only get it when I sleep like that. That's why I have to sleep on my back.
I'm just now realizing this.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I've had sleep paralysis, it's because I'm on my stomach.
Yep. Some people say that they have it because they lay on their back, but I have to lay on my back.
Yeah. I never get it when I'm on my back. It's always on my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. There's a solution. So, what's the fucking deal with the Donkey Kong family tree?
Oh boy. This is a whole topic within itself.
I feel like this is like something with the same caliber as like the Zelda timeline. It's like, how does all of this fit together?
Okay. So, Cranky Kong is Donkey Kong's grandpa or dad?
Yeah, because apparently he was his grandpa, and then Rare in, like, was it Donkey Kong 64 or something like that?
It was Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, they made it to where Cranky was his Donkey Kong's dad, but then when Nintendo got Donkey Kong from Rare, they changed it back to his grandpa, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And then, so then Cranky is the original Donkey Kong
Yes.
from Donkey Kong, like
Yes.
the arcade Donkey
So
Kong.
then Donkey Kong Jr. is the current Donkey Kong's dad, and then Wrinkly Kong is the grandma of Donkey Kong.
Yeah, so then, where is Donkey Kong Jr. these days? Is he just
He's just-
non-existent?
Yeah, he's just forgotten.
Pretty much.
And then Diddy Kong is Donkey Kong's nephew.
Yeah,
So who's his dad? Is Funky Kong Donkey Kong's brother?
I don't know. If you look into it, it's all like Funky Kong or Swanky Kong, or it's like possible brother of Donkey Kong and possible father of Diddy Kong. Like, it's just they're all kind of there and related.
And Dixie Kong is dating Diddy Kong.
Yeah,
And Dixie Kong's sister is Tiny Kong, right?
yeah. Allegedly. And then Donkey Kong's dating Candy Kong, right?
I think so. Or maybe this is rumored. Like, maybe she's just flirty and Donkey Kong thinks she's hot as fuck. But then, you know, Kitty Kong and Crunchy Kong.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Isn't it Crunchy Kong?
It's definitely not Crunchy Kong.
Isn't it?
No. It's Chunky Kong.
Oh, I thought it was Chunky, Crunchy, same fucking thing.
Chunky Kong and Kitty Kong are brothers, and they're cousins of Dixie and Tiny Kong. This is what the website says, by the way.
Yeah.
And then we don't know who either of their parents are. And then Lanky Kong's just retarded.
Yeah. And then Manky Kong?
Oh, Manky Kong. He's the bad guy from the first Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
He was banished from the Donkey Kong timeline because he was like autistic and nobody liked him. And he was just annoying. So yeah, they luckily got him out.
Okay, they're just like, bye! He's like, oh, somebody... I watched a video. Like, there's numerous videos on the Zelda timeline. I think it was Game Theory.
Oh no.
Matt Pat said, I want to say it was Game Theory, but I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Matt Pat said something like, the truth is, people are trying to give definition to something and structure to something that just wasn't supposed to have it in the first place. I feel like that's the same with the Donkey Kong family tree, because it's like, Nintendo's like, oh yeah, they're all related, and like, not thinking anything of it, and, you know, every curious fucker out there who doesn't know any time is like, how? Who's related to who? And it's just like, everyone tries so hard to figure it out.
Did you just relate Donkey Kong to the meaning of life?
Fuck. You want to make me have a fucking existential crisis right now? I can do it! Why am I here? Sure, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's whatever. Donkey Kong's pretty much life at this point.
Yeah, it's okay. Life's pointless.
Yeah. So Donkey Kong's pretty good. I like bananas.
You can't stray away from that subject once you say it's just like, oh, yeah, Donkey Kong, yeah, life has no meaning. I like bananas. It's just like, what? It's like when you're little and you're in, like, I don't know, elementary school, and they do icebreakers for the first day of school. It's like, give us 2 truths and a lie about yourself, and you have to say it in front of the class. That's an activity I've had to do once for an icebreaker in, like, elementary school. It's like,
Oh yeah.
you have to make 3 statements about yourself. One of them is a lie and 2 of them are true. And the class, along with the teacher, has to guess which one is fake. And you'll see, like, the tiny kid come up, and he'll be like, I got an A on a math test once. I struggle to pee sometimes. My dad is John Cena. And you're like, oh. And then it actually turns out that the lie was that he got an A on a math test because he's really dumb.
Dude, oh my god, do you remember how weird elementary school was? Do you remember, like, if you ever think back, the way that those teachers acted sometimes was really weird. Like, they were not right in the head.
Well, you kind of have to be a little nuts to work with little kids all day.
I mean, yeah, but, like, damn, some of my teachers were crazy now that I think back on
Well, What teachers? What do you mean? Because my teachers were pretty normal.
My teachers would freak out if I asked for a drink of water.
Well, God forbid!
Dude, oh my god. Just everything that happened back in elementary school was fucking bizarre. It was like, all, like...
Like what?
Kindergarten through 6th grade was just a fever dream.
Like what?
Like, one time I walked into the bathroom, and as I was walking closer, I heard, oh yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? So I didn't say it. I was more like, what the heck? So I walked in, and there was, one of the, special ed kids, and he was standing really far back with his pants completely dropped, and he was just peeing a stream across the whole room.
Like, was he standing, like, the farthest possible distance from the urinal?
Yes, I don't know how he was peeing that far. But he was peeing into the urinal. Hang on. He was peeing into the urinal. And he was doing, like, weird hand movements, and he was going, yeah, slap that ass, babe. Oh no. Dude, one time I walked past the special ed room and this one girl, this giant behemoth that was like 6 foot tall back in like 1st grade, broke out of the room completely naked with nothing on, going, ah!
Are you sure it wasn't Charlotte from Cat Scratch? You know, human Kimberly's friend that's like abnormally larger than all the other ones.
No one's gonna know what we're talking about, but yes.
Okay, so if you know the old Nickelodeon show, was it Nickelodeon?
Don't even explain it.
I'm going to explain it. Cat Scratch, with the 3 cats, you know, whatever. And they had a friend named Human Kimberly, and in one episode she had a party, and she had a few girlfriends over, and one of them, her name was Charlotte, and she was like really large. Like, she was like a giant, a literal giant, and she was just casually, like, you know, bigger than all her fucking friends, so look that up. Reference for you. Anyways.
Dude, Charlotte was hot.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, Charlotte...
You fucking talked about this the other day, you're like, her legs, man.
Dude, Charlotte... Dude, I would crawl inside of her, dude.
So I remember going on that pee thing you were saying, urine. When I was in like 4th or 5th grade, I remember one time walking into the bathrooms at Endeavor, and the quote unquote cool kids, like they were all peeing like for the farthest distance from the urinal, and they're like, yeah, bro, you gotta get that long shot going, yeah, bro, and like they'd be peeing from far away, and these are normal kids, and then like he'd get it in the urinal and be like, ooh, you got the long shot, and he was like, yeah, he's like, how far can you do it? And I'm just casual, like, and the thing that's weirding me out, nothing about this is weirding me out. I'm not thinking in my head, oh yeah, these guys are just casually whipping their dicks out in front of each other. I'm not thinking, oh yeah, you're peeing all the way across the fucking bathroom. I'm just thinking, nice. And I just go with it, and I just walk away. I was always afraid
that you were gonna get peed on?
No. What? No, I was always afraid. No, this is something different. I was always afraid to poop if somebody else was in the bathroom. I always like would go in the stall, and then if somebody came in, I'd always wait for them to leave, because I didn't want to like fart and have someone be like, "Ugh, who's shitting?" Like I hated that.
You're a nervous pooer.
Not anymore, but
I'm still a nervous pooer. I can't shit if someone's in a public bathroom. I have to either have a single bathroom, or I hold it on the toilet until I hear the sink go on for them to wash their hands. Then I'm like, oh!
Sometimes if it's like in, say, a baseball stadium or something, and you know that it's just going to be busy the entire time, usually I just flush the toilet so it makes like, and then I just shit while it's flushing so they can't hear my shit.
Nice.
And like everyone will wonder like, why is that boy flushing so much? He must have diarrhea. And I'm just like,
oh.
No, I'm just insecure.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I can pee in front of anyone.
Well, yeah.
But I can't shit.
You know how there'll be a bunch of urinals, and you know how it's kind of like in every other rule?
Yeah.
Like, you can't pee next to somebody. That's gay.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm the kind of guy that when there's like a bunch of urinals and there's somebody in like the farthest one on one end, I'll just go right next to him.
Really?
Just to fucking piss him off.
Really?
Yeah, it's so funny.
See, I can't pee next to someone. It makes me feel weird.
Me too, but I think it's funny. I like to play footsies with people in the stalls too. They get really bad.
Oh, man.
I'm like, hey, and they're like, ugh, stop, bro. Oh, I do that at work sometimes. When I'm like, when I'm hiding from work, I'll like play footsies with the people in there, and they'll get really mad at me. And then I'll come out, and I'll be at work, and I'll just be like, "Hey." One time I was playing footsies with this guy at work. I'm really fucking weird. Anyways, I was playing footsies with this guy at work on the toilet, and then I walked out and he saw me, and I just kind of laughed. And then, as I was working like laser tag, he came in with his kid, and I think he looked at me and he's like, "I don't want this dude helping my fucking kid," and he just walked out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Why are you playing footsies with random people in the bathroom?
It's so hilarious. Like, I don't do like every fucking day. It's just like once in a while, like when someone's like foot is like in my stall.
That's not what you said, dude. You wrote it down in your diary. I play footsies. I play footsies. I play footsies. It's like fucking scary, dude. It's like a serial killer's notes.
Yeah, it's the plot of The Shining 2.
Yeah.
I
play footsies.
I play footsies. I play. All work and no footsies makes Jack a dull tootsies. I don't fucking know.
That was stupid. Like your mom.
Aside from me playing footsies and being fucking weird in social situations, elementary school was weird. I remember 6th grade, a lot of kids were into smoking Smarties. That was like the big thing.
Oh my god, smoking Smarties. I remember doing that. I was like so cool that I did that. Oh, speaking of smoking Smarties, there was this kid.
Oh wow.
He would always go around the school and he would tell everyone he saw, like you wouldn't even know him, he would go up to them and be like, "I'm the school detective. I'm hunting out all the Smartie smokers. I'm hunting out all the Smartie smokers."
Like Randall from fucking Recess.
Yeah.
You ever seen the show Recess?
No.
Okay, well, if anyone's seen the show Recess, that's like Randall. He's the fucking tattletale that always turns him into the teacher.
No, but like it wasn't even like nobody cared. The teachers didn't care if he smoked a Smartie. It was just candy. You just eat it. But he would go around like, "I'm the detective. I'm going to bust all the Smartie smokers." And I was like, okay. And then
yeah, okay, buddy.
And then one day in chorus class. Oh, by the way, this kid's name is. I actually just realized that I can't say a kid's name on a podcast. But anyway.
Let's just call this kid Ben.
Okay, yeah. Let's just call him Ben. So, Ben was in our group in chorus class. And in chorus class, we had to get into a random group and we had to choreograph a dance and then dance in front of the whole class. Just because that was our assignment.
Yeah.
And, our dance was pretty funny. Like, we were doing like, weird shit. And he was in our group, and he couldn't do anything. So, we had this one part where we all lined up, and we all would jump and spin to a 360 and land in the same direction we were in. And he couldn't do this. So, he would always, like, jump halfway and then fall over, and, like, he was a big oaf, so it just, like, cracked the floor. Yeah. And there was this one time when he did it, and he smacked the whole piano and went flying and, like, crashed into the wall, and everyone was like...
Everyone's like, "Is the piano okay?"
And he got up and he was like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, but he was a big tattletale, because I remember in elementary school one time, me and my friends were like... It was that instance where, like, you'd say something and you'd you'd mispronounce something, and, like, we'd get on you because we're elementary school kids, like, "What was that, buddy? What was that?" And he was getting all mad, and he's like... I think he said something about wieners. I'm like, "What, are you gay?" He's like, "Well, he's like, "I find that offensive because I have gay relatives." And we're like, "Oh, sorry." And then he proceeds to get... The way this kid walked was annoying. He was one of those fucking kids that walked on his tiptoes all the time. It pissed me off. So he, like, walked over, like, all scared, like, twiddling his thumbs on his tiptoes, and he was like... He goes up to the teacher, the math teacher, and he's like... and I'm standing right next to him, because, like, we're walking in a line back to the class back, and we had to walk in fucking lines. And I think he was the line leader, because he was a suck-up, and I was, like, second. I don't care. So then we're walking, and he goes up to the math teacher. It's like, everyone at the lunch table, including Jack, were making fun of me because I have gay relatives. And my immediate response to that is, "No, we were making fun of you before you said that." Like, as if that's gonna help my case.
Fucking idiot.
And dude, the teachers were done with, like, Ben at this point, so they were just like, "Shut up, I don't care." And he's like, "Wah." And I was just like, nice.
Yeah, Ben, if you're out there, if you're listening to this, fuck you, Ben.
Fuck you, Ben.
Fuck you, Ben.
You suck. Fuck you, Ben. Fuck you.
Yeah, we used to have this one kid in my school. His name was, Big Nose Balby.
Was it actually?
Yeah, his name was Big Nose Balby, and he would come into class, and we would all look at him and be like, "Fuck you, Big Nose Balby," and we'd all throw our books at him, and he would cry. And one day he got really mad and brought in he collected all the books that we would throw at him, and one day he brought it in and dumped it all over someone, and they died. And Big Nose Balby got away with murder.
I have a hunch that that's not a true story.
Nah, dude, it's real.
Big Nose Balby.
Big Nose Balby, dude.
What, he put the books in, like, his sack? His
dude.
sack of books?
Nah, dude, he kept the books in his nose. That's why we called him Big Nose Balby.
He would, like... he'd blow his nose, and he's, like, blowing with big-ass tissues, and he's like, "Oh, Moby Dick." He just got really excited for, like, a split second. Like, he'd be like, "Oh!" And then he'd throw another book at him. Kids were fucking mean in, like, elementary and middle school. Like...
Yeah, dude, it was funny. I was one of them.
I didn't get bullied. I was sort of mean in middle school to, like, this one person. But, like, and I was, like, really sarcastic, too. So I was, like, kind of... I wouldn't consider myself a bully, but I was kind of a shithead sometimes. But, like, it kind of dawned on me, like, kids were really mean in elementary and middle school.
Yeah, I never got bullied per se, but I was always a really nice kid until I met you. Then we became shitheads together.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I consider you and me to be pretty nice people.
Now?
Like, overall, yeah.
Back in middle school.
Dude, back in middle school, we were fucking shitheads.
Yeah. It wasn't good, but that's okay.
Yeah.
At least we matured, sorta.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still watching Pokemon, but...
You're wearing a Pokemon hoodie right now.
Yeah, dude.
I actually really like it.
Thanks, man. I got it at Walmart.
I don't like it anymore.
Actually, I don't know where I got it from.
I fucking hate Walmart, dude. Walmart just sucks. Like, Walmart just feels like lesser Target.
I don't see why everyone hates Walmart. I mean, just go in and buy stuff. I mean, it doesn't matter where it's from, just buy stuff from the store.
Okay.
I mean, whatever store is closest, I'll buy stuff from. It doesn't matter. Well, I worked at Target, so I don't like going into Target anymore. I hated that place. I'm glad I quit.
You know, yeah, I feel like that's what would have happened if I stayed at Subway for longer than, like, a month.
Yeah.
I would probably hate Subway, but I really like Subway. You know, working at Subway was a lot different than I thought it would be.
What did you expect?
Making sandwiches.
Well, what is it now?
Preparing everything, like, that's to be expected, but it's like everything's a lot more complicated than I thought it was.
That's what every job is.
Yeah.
Every job description is like, oh, you move boxes, but then it's like so much more complicated.
And I worked in a Walmart Subway, and that sucked.
Really? I didn't even know that you worked in a Walmart Subway.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Well, yeah, I was a box boy at Target, and I can tell you right now, that was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah,
that was so bad.
Yeah, you complain about that job quite a bit.
And I do not regret quitting.
That's good. You're making art now, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I actually, I like drawing quite a bit. I drew the logo for this channel.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty good.
Wow, thanks.
That's not a logo. That's poop.
That's... Oh! Alright.
Yeah, well...
Speaking of noise, do you want to go get some Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Dude! Alright, about to get me some, about to get a quesarito and,